She was kidnapped by pirates, but instead of begging for freedom, she took control. She didn't just survive, she ruled the seas. She became the richest, most powerful pirate the world had ever known. This is the true story of Zheng Yi Sao, the pirate queen who commanded fleets, defeated navies, and rewrote history. But her journey didn't start with power. It began with a fight for survival. In 1801, Zheng Yi Sao was just a poor woman in a floating brothel, living along the coast of China. Life was harsh, and the world around her was brutal. Yet she had a spark in her eyes, a fire that would soon ignite the storm of the seas. Her life was about to change forever when a pirate fleet led by the infamous Zheng Yi raided her village. In an instant, everything she knew was stripped away. She was captured and forced into a brutal life. Her only option to survive was submission. But Zheng Yi didn't realize the strength he was dealing with. What he thought was a conquest, she saw as an opportunity. Forced into marriage with Zheng Yi, she didn't crumble. Instead, she bided her time, watching, learning, and planning. Within months, she wasn't just his wife. She was pulling the strings behind the scenes. She learned the ways of piracy, became an expert in strategy, and understood the balance of power. Zheng Yi may have been the figurehead, but it was Zheng Yi Sao who held the true power. She understood that to rule, she needed more than just a fleet. She needed loyalty, respect, and control. She began to form alliances with other pirate crews, expanding her reach and influence. As her power grew, so did her reputation. The pirates feared her more than the navy. Zheng Yi Sao wasn't just a pirate, she was a leader. Her fleet, the Red Flag Fleet, grew to become one of the most formidable forces on the high seas, with over 770,000 pirates under her command. But unlike other pirate leaders, Zheng Yi Sao enforced a strict moral code on her crew. No stealing from civilians, no assaulting women. Break the rules and you face execution. Her rule was feared and respected. If you were a part of her fleet, you followed the code, or you paid the price. Zheng Yi Sao's strict legal code was a key element of her success. Unlike other pirates who lived by chaos, she ruled with order. Her fleet wasn't just a group of marauders. It was a well-oiled machine, with a clear hierarchy and rules. Every member knew their place, and the consequences of disobedience were severe. If a pirate disrespected the laws, they were executed in front of the others. An example for the rest of the fleet. Zheng Yi Sao built a true empire where loyalty and discipline were as valuable as treasure. This system gave her power over not only her own crew, but also the civilians she interacted with. Her fleet became a terrifying force that no one dared challenge, not even the might of the Chinese Navy. The Portuguese Navy, or the British Navy. Each battle she fought was a carefully calculated risk. She knew the seas like the back of her hand, understood the winds, the tides, and the enemy. Zheng Yi Sao's strategy wasn't just about attacking, it was about outsmarting her enemies, finding their weaknesses, and exploiting them. She didn't just win battles, she outmaneuvered entire navies, leading attacks that left the world in awe. One by one, her enemies fell before her. As Zheng Yi Sao's power grew, so did the threat to her reign. The emperor, terrified by her strength, finally offered a deal. Total pardon for her and her crew if she surrendered. For most, this would be a tempting offer, the chance to escape the weight of a pirate's life. But for Zheng Yi Sao, it was about much more than survival. It was about control. She didn't just want to be forgiven, she didn't want to surrender. She had worked too hard for too long. She wanted to retire on her own terms. So she agreed to the emperor's offer, but with one crucial condition: she would keep all of her leather from cunning. Every treasure, every gold coin, every piece of plunder she had earned would remain hers, and she would live the rest of her life in peace with the riches she had acquired through years of battle, bloodshed, and cunning. The emperor had no choice but to agree. Zheng Yi Sao's power was too great. She had become too legendary to ignore. Having retired rich and free, Zheng Yi Sao left behind her life as a pirate queen. But she didn't disappear. Instead, she opened a gambling house, a place where she could enjoy her wealth and power without the bloodshed of piracy. The world saw her as a woman who had been freed from the chains of piracy. But for Zheng Yi Sao, it was more than that. It was the final victory. She had taken control not just of her life, but of the entire world around her. The sea was no longer her battleground. The world's laws and powers had bent to her will. In the end, she didn't just survive, she thrived. Zheng Yi Sao's story could have ended there, but it didn't. For centuries, her name was almost forgotten. History, as it often does, erased the women who held true power. But Zheng Yi Sao was no ordinary woman. She was a force of nature. She commanded more ships than legendary pirates like Blackbeard, Calico Jack, and Bartholomew Roberts combined. She commanded an empire of pirates, not with violence and chaos, but with strategy, wisdom, and leadership. Yet despite her immense power and wealth, history almost ignored her. The Pirate Queen faded into the shadows, her legacy buried by time. But through stories like this, her name lives on. She is no longer forgotten. Zheng Yi Sao went from being a prisoner to the most powerful pirate in history. She ruled the seas and left behind a legacy that no one would ever forget again. Zheng Yi Sao's story is a reminder that history doesn't always remember those who changed the world. Sometimes the most powerful legends are hidden beneath the waves, forgotten by time. But we won't forget her. Subscribe to Legacy Thread, where we bring the most powerful stories that history tried to hide back to life. Because as legends don't always wear crowns, sometimes they fly a pirate flag.